Mavericks led by head coach and GM Tad O'Had, associate coach Riley Wazalowski, and goalie coach Rob Couturier. The Everblades led by head coach and GM Brad Ralph and assistant coach Anthony Peters. It'll be Jake Jaremko, Cole Koski, David Cotton up front with Jake McLaughlin, Marc-Olivier Duquette on the back end. They'll stand in opposite Jesse Lansdale, Mark Senden, and Bobo Carpenter up front for Florida with Reese Smolik and Cole Moberg on the back end. Mavericks will be in the home whites with the orange and black trim. They'll go from left to right here in the first period, and we are underway in Game 1. Sit back and enjoy Game 1 of the Kelly Cup Finals. Joe Benson and Sean Carrier here with you here tonight. Here's Jake Jaremko. Try to brush it up the far boards, held in, sent towards the net there by Berzola and held onto by Cale Morris, and already some commotion here in the crease.
A little bit of feistiness going on here. That's what you love to see out of this Mavericks group.
Mavericks trying to establish the forecheck once again. Nearly 3 minutes gone here in the opening period. Jacob Hayers tried to wrist it down low. And now the Everblades pick it up. Relayed up the near side to Lansdale. Here's Senden gliding in, out wide. Carried in by Carpenter, a shot, and he scores. Bobo Carpenter with a quick release from the top of the far circle, able to beat Cale Morris, and the Everblades take a 1-0 lead.
A big goal for Bobo Carpenter to go get to start this series, but we've been talking about it all year long for this Mavericks group. They've been a team of resiliency in the Western Conference Final. Just 1 out of the 6 games did they score the first goal in that series, yet they were still able to come back and win in 6 games. A phenomenal test of this Mavericks group right now coming up for them. Can they battle back here early from this 1-0 deficit?
Deflected in by David Cotton. He'll give chase. Cotton, who's got points in 6 straight home games here in the playoffs. Here's a shot. They score! Jeremy McKenna got a piece of it at the top of the crease to tie the game at 1 for the Mavericks. 13:34 to go here in the first.
Well, here's this resiliency we keep talking about. It's a really nice hold by Nate Konepke at the blue line after the puck just kind of trickles from him to him. And Jeremy McKenna gets just enough on this puck to confuse Cam Johnson, and we find ourselves tied at a 1-1 hockey game.
And just like we talked about, Sean, the Mavericks get the response. Jeremy McKenna, his 18th point of the playoffs. Here's Max Andreev to pick it up, feeds the back. Calvis had it hop over his stick in a foot race here with Oliver Chow. Chow might have a step up, backhander, and he scores. Oliver Chow able to get around that far pad of Cale Morris and tuck it home. And the Everblades take a 2-1 lead with 4:05 to go here in the first.
Well, you see the speed on display here for the Chow. One of the reasons they're making it back to the Kelly Cup Final. This puck just hops over the stick of Theo Calvis, and Chow has a step and is just able to utilize that to catapult himself up ice. Calvis can't get back in time, and he gets that lead restored for the Everblades. 4:05 remaining in the first.
Here's Moberg now on the move for Florida. Moberg winds and fires, and he scores. Cole Moberg with a blast from the deep slot, able to beat Cale Morris, blockers side high, and the Everblades take a 3-1 lead with 2:16 to go here in the first.
Yeah, this one was just an absolute blast. Like you mentioned, Joe, by Moberg. Not a lot to this play, just an incredibly wicked slap shot, and the Mavericks' resiliency really up to the test now, down 2 in this first period. Just want to take a second, collect your breath, collect your mental thoughts, and start putting your best foot forward. 2:16 remaining in this first period.
Now lead pass, here's Lambden, left circle, a backhander, and a great save, Morris. Mark that one down, a 10-bell save from Cale Morris, absolutely robbing Logan Lambden. Eventually chopped out, here's Carpenter up ice with Senden. Carpenter to the near circle, shot! And that one off the crossbar. Carpenter thought he scored. No definitive signal from the official. Thrown back across, and a good stick there by Theo Calvis to deflect it out. Here's Walker back in the zone. Now to Borchard right circle. Spun one, save Johnson. Loose out in front. Johnson will sprawl to cover it. And the Everblades want a review here as Bobo Carpenter seemed to think that he beat Cale Morris upstairs. The officials now gathering.
And along with the referees, another look. This was a nice shot by Carpenter, and regardless, he either scores and makes this a 4-1 game or just misses on the 2-on-1 opportunity.
What a release there from Carpenter. You could see the celebration right as that puck hit the crossbar. And so he clearly thought he scored. There was no signal on the ice from the official.
There was no washout either, so it's going to be interesting to see what they're looking at here. Taking a look at the overhead on the opportunity in the box right now. Taking their time with this one, a lot to determine here.
This is a huge moment in this game, obviously with the Mavericks down 3-1.
Yeah, you'd think it'd be a little bit more simple. It either goes in or not, but maybe they're just looking to see if maybe it did make contact with the back bar but didn't fully cross the red line. These are all things that they're considering in the box right now. And like we mentioned, certainly a lengthy review here as it continues.
That was a look at that last bid there from Kate Borcher, but the officials still in the box reviewing this on the tablet. Bobo Carpenter, whose shot is in question here inside the scorer's table, whose father, Bobby Carpenter, played over 1,100 NHL games across 18 seasons for the Bruins, Rangers, Kings, Capitals, and New Jersey Devils. We talked about him, Sean, in the pregame. Came into the game leading the Everblades in goals and points. He already has a goal here tonight. Here's the call on the ice.
After review of the play, the call on the ice has been overturned. We have a good goal.
And it is called a goal.
But either way, 4-1 now the lead here for Florida.
Reset to 11-10.
Corner, he'll play it behind the net for Cotton. Far side, Andreev trying to float it up top, picked off by Carpenter. Racing up ice with Chow. Carpenter across, and they score. Oliver Chow, a shorthanded goal to give the Everblades a 6-1 lead with 8:51 to go here in the second.
When it rains, it pours, and that's what's happening for this Florida Everblades team right now. And just an unfortunate play inside the zone to spring this 2-on-1 here for the Mavericks, and it's a really nice pass from Carpenter. Cale Morris not left with an ample opportunity to try to make this slide and make the save. 5-forward unit jumping on now to try to at least break even on this power play here for the Mavericks.
To go in the second.
See David Cotton taking some exception to Wedman playing that puck towards Cale Morris after going off sides there.
Yeah, Matt Wedman, who was acquired by the Everblades at the trade deadline for, this name might sound familiar, Sean, Luke Santurno, former Mavericks forward. Wedman actually made his debut with the Everblades in the playoffs in the first round back against Jacksonville. The Everblades actually trailed the Icemen 3-1 in that series, won 3 games straight to upset the Icemen, winning in 7 games. The Mavericks, of course, sweeping the Tulsa Oilers in the first round. They beat Idaho in the second round in 5 games, and then the Walleye in 6 games in the conference finals. Here's Lambden back in for Florida, plays it down into the near corner. Wedman locked up there by David Cotton. Sent out in front, Lambden, a chip shot, and he scores. Logan Lambden, a fluttering shot, beating Cale Morris. And the Everblades take a 7-1 lead with 2:05 to go here in the second.
Sometimes when it's just not your night, it's just not your night. I think this one goes off of Theo Calvis. It gets past Cale Morris as to just really rub insult to injury here. It's the opportunity from the slot. You can see it just flutters like you mentioned, and this one looks to go in off of friendly number 7 to put the Everblades up by 6 here in the second period.
Molek. peel away with it. Hand it off for Skirving. Skirving lifting it back down the left wing. Smoling a centering pass, and that one deflects in off Marc-Olivier Duquette. Past Jack LaFontaine. And the Everblades continue to get lucky bounces here tonight as they take an 8-1 lead with 14 minutes to go here in the third.
Sometimes it's just really not your night, and that's what's happening here for the Mavericks, as this is 2 now own goals in a row here to pad the lead for Florida. You can see this was just a pass attempt, and Marc-Olivier Duquette is going right in front of Jack LaFontaine, just trying to get in front of this passing opportunity, and it goes right off of his back past Jack LaFontaine, and Everblades now up by a touchdown.
Berzola back behind his own net. He's forced towards the near corner by Sullivan. Clock bleeding down. Sullivan jousting with Berzola. And that took a couple cross checks up high, did Sullivan. As the horn sounds to end this one, and the Mavericks will fall by an 8-1 final in Game 1, and the Everblades will take a 1-0 lead in this best-of-7 series.
This Mavericks group, they'll definitely be looking to hit a little bit of the mental reset button. Definitely not how anyone envisioned this Game 1 going, but still a lot of offensive chances and bad breaks defensively. These guys will be ready to go tomorrow night. They're not one to just lay down in any sort of series, no matter the opponent, no matter what happened the night before. So looking to see a much more intense effort out of this Mavericks group here tomorrow night.